Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Welcome to another edition of Dangle Bet Celly live right here, powered by FTN, presented by Prize Picks. Chris Meaney and the Eric Young here with you. Appreciate you guys hanging out here in the chat already. We love you guys. Please tell a friend about the show. If you could rate, review, subscribe, smash the like button. If you are listening on iTunes a little bit later on, if you could give us a 5-star review or a rating. I'll take 3 stars, but I saw EY's wrestling promo the other day, and I don't think he's taking anything less than 5 stars, and I don't think you want to get on his bad side. Dude, welcome in. How are you? And that was fantastic, by the way. You scared the crap out of me watching that promo.
Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, I'm really proud of that. Really proud of the last little bit of my career. It's the most fun I've ever had at
nice.
We'll just say an accelerated age. And yeah, I'm still in New Orleans. My wife came down here. We're working on about, I don't know, maybe 6.5 hours total sleep, and about to rock some bets. And all the games today, it's just like all the teams that I like are playing. All the teams that I like are playing each other, and now I have to choose.
Yeah, you're gonna have to make some decisions here. So we'll rapid fire through this. We always say, but 6 games. But we do appreciate you guys. Just gonna kind of address the comments here as we go. Troy checks in, says he's not saying the Blue Jackets will win, but Patrick Laine and Zach Werenski will hit their shot on goal prop. They are both on heaters. Yeah, they both really are. I mean, Laine has been phenomenal this season compared to last year. Mike Convery says, the man, the myth, the legend, Cole Caulfield. Unbelievable, man. 1 goal in 30 games with Dom Ducharme. We talked about him playing on the 4th line, getting second power play time. Now he's got 5 goals in 6 games with Martin St. Louis, and he's playing more than he's ever played. He's playing with a lot of confidence. The George Canadians plus 400, never in doubt. Yeah, never in doubt. Kyle Spencer, Caulfield, and Anderson, cash for me. Only guys I can trust on the Habs. They are playing well, and I would agree. That's the only guys you could really go to. Brendan Gilden, Dangle Bet Celly is now my drive to work show. Couldn't ask for a better start to Tuesdays and Thursdays. Safe travels, dude, on the way to work. Dustin Chafee checks in. Nice to see the community building for this show. We love it. Eric, Adam Rankcrap is with us. What's up, guys? We have Jacob with us coming to you hot off the same game parlay. Okay, so a same game parlay win with Cole Caulfield to score and the Habs to win. And Eric claims he is the crazy person. We love it, Jacob. We love it. Fantastic. Diehard MMA podcast. Morning, guys, is with us as well. Coaster's Corner. Sens played today. EY eye emoji. We'll get into that in a little bit. Jacob says, before I go back to work and listening, Callie Ehrenkrug for anytime score tonight. Cash that one as well. The Kraken back in action. Guys, we really appreciate the love. Just a really great community here. You guys are all super sharp as well. We love having the back and forth. And then one more on the way out, or before we get going, rather. Timothy Jones finally approved for Prize Picks. I guess my driver's license picture was too ugly for this 66-year-old. I don't know about that, Timothy, but we do love the fact that you are now approved for Prize Picks. I know we don't talk a lot of Prize Picks plays on this show, but a lot of shot props, a lot of goal props that we talk about, you can get over at prizepicks.com. I'll keep an eye on it. It's still fairly early, so there's not a lot going on right now from an NHL standpoint. But a friendly reminder that we do have the free Prize Picks pick tracker over at ftndaily.com. And if you use that promo code FTN, they'll match your first deposit 100% up to $100. And if you already signed up, you refer a bud, and it's a free $25 in your Prize Picks account. So that's a way of getting involved already.
Awesome.
I'm seeing there's actually quite a bit of shot props, and we can visit that towards the end. We'll roll through some of these games and see if there's an edge over at Prize Picks. They got points, shots, hits, fantasy score. It's a simple over or under. All the odds are the same. You pick 2. You want to go a power play. It pays out 2-1. You want to go 4. You get all 4 right. That pays out 9-1. You're not going to really get a lot of shot props out there with just 2 in your entry at 2-1, especially with favorites. But also a reminder that you don't need to go 4 for 4. You go 3 for 4, 2 for 3. The flex play life, and you will earn yourself a little bit of cash. Jordan in the house as well. Time to win some PTP cash tonight. So let's get after it. And we'll start with the first game on the slate. We have the St. Louis Blues and the Philadelphia Flyers. Still Flyers without Sean Couturier. Every game the Flyers play could be Claude Giroux's last one in Philadelphia. It does look like he is going to be gone, but he's going to have the say of where he wants to go because he does have the no trade clause there. On the St. Louis side of things, it looks like Vladimir Tarasenko will return to the lineup. So for the Blues, we do have these fancy boards from our guy George, of course. We got St. Louis's heavy road favorites here. And we have the Flyers at plus money, who played pretty good last night or yesterday afternoon against the Carolina Hurricanes. They took that game to overtime, and Carolina was able to win that one. From St. Louis, their standpoint, they had the win on the weekend over the Leafs. They're still on this road trip here, and they make a stop into Philadelphia. I like St. Louis. I believe we're going to see Husso in between the pipes, but I don't know, man. At one point, I think they maybe go back to Binnington to try to get their confidence up here a little bit. It's hard to lay this kind of juice, EY, but I do see St. Louis winning this hockey game. Where are you at?
Yeah, I see St. Louis winning this. They've been pretty consistent as of late, and most of the time that Husso's been in there, he's been really good. He's starting to wrestle that net away from Binnington. You got to understand that Binnington is still going to be the number one goalie. He's paid more money. They want him to be the number one. They invested in him. But I think Berube is going to do, what's best for the team to win that night. But there's always going to be push and pull from ownership and from the players themselves that want to play. But with Husso in net against Philly, Philly's been rotten. We've talked about them. Their goaltending is all over the place. So, there's nothing to be won there betting on St. Louis to win unless you work it into a parlay. I might work them into a parlay. Try to figure that out by the end of the show. But I'm going to go Buchnevich to score tonight. He's been shooting the puck like crazy. And Cam Atkinson, he's been having a great year for Philadelphia. They're a bad team. I mean, you talk about this all the time. Just because there's a bad hockey team doesn't mean there's not ways to win fantasy leagues and bet on certain things.
Yeah, no, you're right. Absolutely spot on. Buchnevich was going to be my guy too, so I like the fact that we're on the same page here. Yeah, we're really on the same page. I do like his shot prop. I know he had 7 shots the other day. He hasn't really been hitting. Part of maybe why he hit the other night was because Tarasenko wasn't in the lineup and he wasn't playing. If you can find Tarasenko anywhere at 2.5, I think that's fine. It's going to be juice, but I think, you can put it into a parlay instead of a single, and away you go. I do like the Blues tonight from a DraftKings standpoint. Like, a lot of their guys are fairly affordable. We have been picking on this Flyers squad for quite a bit. If you look at their natural stat trick over the last month, they're not really in the top in terms of allowing high danger chances and shot attempts, but we know that we know that they have issues in goal. They're playing in the second half of the back-to-back. They just played Carolina last night, so this is tough to go again here. So the Blues are wrapping up the 4-game road trip here tonight. They got the win in Ottawa. They lost to the Habs, and they beat the Leafs. And then they return back home to Buffalo. So there's a couple guys here. Tarasenko's got 4 points in his last 2 games. He's had at least 3 shots in 3 straight games. He actually has points in 3 straight and 5 of his last 6. So he's been shooting quite a bit. Over at DraftKings, Buchnevich is 5'9", Kyrie's 5'4", Torrey Krug is 5'3", Justin Falk is 4'5". I think he's a really good play over at DraftKings. He's got points in 5 straight games. Yeah, he's been shooting. He's got at least 2 shots over that span. He's been blocking shots too. So he's on the second power play. I think he's pretty affordable, man. He's pretty interesting.
Yeah, very affordable. Good guy to sneak in. If you went expensive other places in your DFS lineup, Justin Falk has been, up and down, but right now he seems to be playing maybe his best hockey. Maybe his best hockey since getting into St. Louis. So that's a good sign for them and a good sign for him and people that have him season long and stuff like that. Because he's one of those guys, right? Like, he's not producing like crazy, but that he's good. You can't just drop him. Because some other sharp person's going to pick him up. So you kind of been holding him. He's sitting there on your bench, and he'll get you a goal, get you an assist, and he'll log a ton of important minutes and block some shots and stuff. But he's not winning any championships, but he's a solid guy to have in your slot. And I think for DFS, could be a really good cheap way to fill in your D-line spots.
Yeah, I think so too. It's you really have to keep an eye on the Blues when it comes to like their power plays. They shuffle things around quite a bit, but he is on that second unit with Perron, Sod, O'Reilly, and Cairo. So to get some kind of correlation, maybe you could go. Kyrie's on that third line with Shen. Maybe you could go. I really like that top. I like the first unit, the first power play unit, like Buchnevich, Tarasenko, and Krug. I like to have those three in a lineup. You got Tarasenko and Buchnevich on the same line together. Robert Thomas has been just absolutely red hot. So if you went like Buchnevich, Thomas, and Tarasenko, take line two. They correlate together. They line up on the power play together, so that works out. And then maybe you could get Krug, or the contrarian way really would be potentially to roll with O'Reilly and Perron on that first line and get Justin Falk in there if you wanted to, and then you have the second power play. That's kind of how I like to play DFS. I like to have power plays just in case, you get 2 or 3 power play goals here and these guys start to rack up some points, and away you go. Okay, so just to recap here, we both like St. Louis. It's tough. To win in 60 is tough. We've been getting burned lately just with some late goals, and I've seen it so much. But, if you want to get better odds, the Blues to win in 60 at minus 145. As long as Husso's in net, I think it's worth waiting just to see if he's going to get the start. We both like Buchnevich to score here tonight, so I think that's a sign. I could go with Tarasenko. I think, both of those guys are the shooters on this team. I'm seeing Tarasenko 2.5 shots minus 169. It's a little juice, but like I said, you can put that into a parlay, and away you go. I see the Scott Lawton there from Adam. He's been playing pretty good. You can find him for a shot prop. He's got at least 3 shots in 4 straight games. I don't hate that one at all. I think it's a pretty good call out, actually. I played him in DFS the other day. It's just like a one-off cheap play. I mean, he didn't do anything, but he's been okay. I can't find his shot prop anywhere right now. I don't know where you're seeing that. Maybe it's on Prize Picks. I don't see it either. But yeah, Andrew, if you can find him, man, he might even be at 1.5. He should be at plus money at 2.5. All right, we'll move on. We get the next game here on the board. Let's go to Columbus. Let's talk Blue Jackets and Leafs. Blue Jackets have been playing pretty good. They really have. They've been, they've been pushing the pace and scoring some goals. And that top line in particular has been really, really good. They're home dogs here today, plus 190. We got the Leafs here at minus 200. So things have changed quite a bit since George made these boards. As you can see, the total is still at 6.5. We hit the over last night. I'm not gonna lie, I was on the Leafs. I keep saying the process remains the same with the Habs, but maybe not. They're not on the board here tonight, but we got to start looking at them a little bit differently. St. Louis has them at least trying to play hockey, having some fun in that locker room, and they're showing up and they're playing. They're not a complete pushover anymore with just Ducharme, and the effort wasn't there. But this is the Leafs here. I want to get your thoughts on last night. Thoughts on 2 straight losses here. Overall, Eric, 6.5 the total. This is a team that we've seen at least 6 goals in 23 of their last 26 games here. And with the Blue Jackets pushing the pace and scoring and allowing some goals, it's hard for me not to like 6.5, even though it's a huge number.
Yeah. The Blue Jackets have been playing way better. You can attribute that, I think, to Laine, feeling it. And we've talked about him before. He's definitely a super streaky player. Reminds me a lot of how Phil Kessel was for this kind of thing, in the prime of his career. He would go stretches of games where, like, every time he touched the puck, you knew that it was going to go in the net, or something good was going to happen. Watching Laine play right now, that's what it feels like. When he gets the puck on his stick, whether it's a good pass or he draws coverage away because everyone has to respect when he's on the ice. When he's on, man, he's one of my favorite players to watch. He really is. He just crazy confidence. This, almost magical release of the puck. Like, even people that don't watch hockey can see him shoot the puck and know there's something different, right? Like, there's just something different. And that's exciting for Blue Jackets and Blue Jacket fans. But I think the Maple Leafs win this game tonight. They will right the ship. And I just don't think – I think that the Maple Leafs are going to start to push the pedal and kind of give up a little bit of their structure. And, at the start of the year, there was really surprising numbers from the Toronto defense. It was like, oh, maybe they solved it. I feel like they haven't solved it. And I think that they're going to realize that, and they're just going to start trying to light the lamp and put the gas pedal down and make teams keep up with them. And I don't think there's many that can.
No, I don't think either. It makes sense that the Leafs would bounce back, but the second half of a back-to-back, Columbus is not. It's not an easy place to play. I know it's not the
No,
same sort of team. And you look at their home record, they're only 13-10-1. They've won 2 straight. They've won 7 of their last 9 games. I think the best play in this game is certainly the over. Man, it's pushing. Wow, it's 7 at FanDuel. I don't know if you're going to get a better price. I'm going to wait and live bet at over 6 at a decent price. That's not a bad way to maybe look at that. I don't hate that strategy. If the game starts off where there's no goal in the first 5 to 7 minutes, you may see it go to 6 potentially. Yeah, you could have got 6.5 last night. I think I put this in. I don't think I put it in the bet tracker. It's over at Bet Action. It's over at Action Network. Yeah, I got it in last night. 6.5 at -112. Yeah, 7 is pushing it. Yeah, you could get 6.5 in some spots, but I don't know if that's really worth it to go -135, 6.5. It's pretty crazy. Maybe you can put it in some parlays. Just I'm dealing with some allergies again. It's been allergy season. I don't know what it is. I had to step away from Mean Streets yesterday, so excuse me while I got the sniffles here again this morning on a Tuesday. It's driving me nuts. I don't know, man. I might go with the Blue Jackets here tonight. I might ride with Columbus. I'm definitely gonna ride with some of their guys that are just hot, right? Like we talked about Patrick Laine. Laine had the hat trick the other day. He's got 4 games over his last 8 where he scored at least 2 goals. And he's riding a massive point streak here. He's got points in 9 straight games. And Eric, like, they're all multi-point games for him. Like 7 of the 9 are multi-point games, 4 shots, 5 shots, 3 shots.
Yep.
So I'm definitely in on Laine. And I'm definitely in on Marner. Like, those are my 2 guys from a shot prop standpoint. Let's see what we can get for Laine on the fly here. I didn't see it earlier. 2.5 -130, jumping on that one. I think Werenski's in play too. I saw it earlier from Troy. If you want to go Zach Werenski, he's playing a lot. He's shooting the puck quite a bit as well. And then Marner. What do you want? Are you calling any goals here? I mean, 7 goals. We're seeing this total jump up. There's got to be some goals tonight.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Like when you see that where they're thinking, Vegas or the people that set these odds that are quite frankly way smarter than me. Or if they weren't, I would be winning way more money.
All of us.
Yeah, and so you got to look at that and know that goal scorers are going to come. I mean, obviously, there's the regular. Austin Matthews has been gold for that all year. Anytime you bet on him, but when you look at it, right, he's -145 on DraftKings. There's not a lot to be won there. I'm feeling really good about the second line with Tavares, Nylander, and Kerfoot. Kerfoot has been playing really good, so I think Kerfoot is a long shot, but because of where he's playing and he's been playing good all year, like this is going to be a career year for Alex Kerfoot. So I might lean him to be a goal scorer, anytime goal scorer. Yeah, I think I would probably put some money on Laine to score tonight because he's been really, really good. And I think another long shot you could look into is Michael Bunting. He's put himself right in the Calder race. I think a lot of people were pretty hesitant when they signed him and kind of I don't know. I wouldn't say they let Hyman go, but he went to the Oilers and they needed to replace that style of player. And Bunting may be a identical or even better version of Hyman. And there's obviously a massive discount too.
Yeah, I love the Bunting call because he's right there and he's shooting the puck. I kind of like Boone Jenner too. There's a lot that I really like. You get Laine at plus 175.
Boone Jenner's a sneaky play in all things because he just shoots the puck like crazy. He's an important player for this team.
Man, oh yeah, for sure. I mean, we're in the sea. I think he's a fantasy stud. Like if you're playing in the leagues with hits and shots, which most people are, face-offs, which probably most people aren't. He's an absolute league winner. I'd love to just screenshot my, on Yahoo when you look at your league availability, when you look at a player. I got him like 6 leagues. I'm looking right now. It's double-digit face-off wins from him almost every single game. He's thrown his body around. Like he's got at least a hit in 7 straight, 4 hits, 2 hits, 4-3. He's blocking shots. He's playing on the power play. He's playing 20 minutes a night. Like, that's rare for certain forwards. He's got 21 goals in the season. He's got points in 3 straight, 6 over that span. He's an absolute stud, man. He's plus 230 to score a goal here today. I kind of stay away from his shot prop. He's been stuck at 2, but I don't hate the 2.5. I just like Zach Werenski's juiced to minus 169. And Laine's minus 130, so I think that's the better play. But there's a lot of different options here. I love the Bunting call. I'll put Laine on the board as like the chalky goal scorer, I guess, after Matthews. But I think Bunting is a good call by you. I think Nylander's a good call. I think just this Columbus line, Bjorkstrand's off of it and Voracek is there. Voracek's the pass-first guy. So I think Jenner and Laine are the two guys that I want to go to the most. I don't even really want to play Voracek on DraftKings. I'd rather go Jenner, Laine, Werenski, and then maybe get Bjorkstrand in there just to be a little contrarian. He's on that first power play unit, but we certainly could see some goals. You see the Leafs over 6.5? You going to bother with that one? I mean, it's a trend I think we can attack, but it's pretty juiced to the over. It's tough to bet that as a single.
It is super interesting, right? Because like we said, like Columbus has been playing very, very good. And I liken it to, Laine feeling it and when a player like that is going, it can carry the momentum for your team. So if I was going to bet something, I'm going to put them in a parlay to win, Maple Leafs to win. But if I was going to bet something on the game, I would probably bet the over. And just because the Leafs are the Leafs and the Blue Jackets have been playing well.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe this is the start of just a little spiral out of control. I don't know.
Maybe
you get the Blue Jackets plus 1.5 at minus 120. It's okay. I know the thing with the plus 1.5. Tino was talking about it like riding the Habs yesterday, plus 1.5. I think closer to puck drop, you could have got plus 2.5 for pretty much even money. The one thing about this plus 1.5, if it's a 3-2 game or a 4-3 game or something for the Leafs, you get that empty net. There's nothing worse than that empty net going in the back of the net and your bet is crushed. So I think you just go with them or you don't. I get this weird feeling about the Blue Jackets, so we'll recap towards the end. We'll move on here. You got your Preds in action. Tough spot for Nashville in Florida against the Panthers. The Panthers have won 3 straight, 8 of their last 10. They're 23-3 on home ice. Your Predators are struggling right now, man. They've lost 4 straight. What do you think of this contest here tonight? Do they find a way? We talk sometimes about teams after that long road trip, coming back home. Maybe they could play a little. Maybe they play a little flat. We saw Florida go on a 5-game road trip, an 8-4 win in Columbus, a 5-2 loss in New York. They won in Carolina, in Minnesota, and in Chicago, all pretty easily. Now they return home for 5 straight, starting here with Nashville. What do you think?
Yeah, how dare you, NHL? How dare you, schedule makers, make me talk about these two teams and pick. What's our rule is you don't bet against the Florida Panthers. Except
after the long road trip?
After the long road trip, and Eric Young
wants
the Predators to win, is going to will them to win by betting $5 on them to win tonight.
Okay.
That's the only reason you do it. That's the only reason. Look, I mean, the reality is it is a gut feeling, but the Predators are very well coached. They're a very good team. They're a very tough team. And I think on the road, they're in a bit of on a slippery slope right now. And sometimes, it's the opposite thing of teams go on the road. They're not at home. There's no distractions. They're with each other. It's us versus the world. I understand that playing a really good team in Florida, but if you watch the game, it's going to be Tuesday night and there's going to be 45 people there watching the game. And it makes me sick to my stomach because that place should be packed with how good of a team this is and how exciting they are to watch. But there's really no home ice advantage playing in Florida except for the last change. And them coming off a long road trip, the Preds are not desperate, but you can smell a hint of desperation for a win for them to get back on track here. So I think the Preds win this.
Yeah, Kyle, I saw it too. I was taking a look at Florida. I mean, they only have 3 losses at home. So most of their road trips have, the first game coming back from those road trips have been W's. I saw the same thing. The last lengthy road trip that they had was a bit of a Western swing out in Canada. where they did lose to the Flames, but then they bounced back and beat the Oilers, Canucks. They lost to the Kraken, imagine that. And then won in Winnipeg, and they came home and they handled Vegas. So it's tough to really. It's just I don't even have any numbers to back it up. I just see it sometimes when these teams go on these road trips to come home and they're a little flat. But I mean, I'm not gonna be with you, but I understand, right? I mean, with these odds, just throw what you said, $5 on Nashville plus 176. I think it's fine, right? I put Florida in like the whole parlay thing. Like, it's a little tough to lay that kind of juice on them to win in 60. I could see this game being tight. To win in 60 is minus 145. You could do a St. Louis and a Florida parlay, both of these teams to win in 60 if you wanted to, just to increase your odds. You can get that at plus 185, or you can put them two to straight up win. And then maybe we'll pick another team that we like here. I think there's another one that I like certainly in this next game, but you may feel the other way as well. But all right, so is UC Staros, what's going on with Nashville? Staros is letting in goals. Is it just... I don't know. Every team kind of goes through this. He's allowed at least 4 goals in 3 of his past 4. They're losing to good teams. Like they lost to Dallas in Dallas. I thought they hung around. I think they blew that lead. They were up, I think, in that game. Lost to Winnipeg, lost to Washington, and the lost in Carolina. Like those are, those are some pretty decent teams. I mean, Carolina especially.
Carolina's always had their number. You mean like I don't.
Yeah.
I have a bad memory for that kind of thing, but I can't think of the last time they beat Carolina. I mean, that's just they just seem to have their number. My worry is something that has been talked about all year, and that's fatigue. I mean, like Saros is not old; he's a young goalie, but how active he has to be because of his height. Like Jeff Merrick said this really funny. There are no accidental saves with UC Saros. Like if he stops the puck, he had to do something. Bigger goalies, guys like Pecorine or Ben Bishop or any of these guys that are 6'4" and above, they can stop a puck on accident that they don't even see because they're taking up more of the net. And with UC Saros, there are no accidental saves, so he's working hard. He's played almost every game, and that is a thing that does not happen often anymore in the NHL. And my worry is that they've tired him out. And, I think they're going to probably make it into the playoffs pretty easily. I think they will right the ship. But the worry is wearing Saros out and tiring him out and then not having, full go UC Saros for the playoffs, which would be a massive mistake for this team.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I see the comment there. The Adam Ekblad over just to have a power play point plus 175.
That's good.
I think it's pretty interesting. These power play point props are always really juicy. They're nice. I mean, it's tough. Adam. It's obviously you got to have the power play, but he's the quarterback on that power play. The power play is very, very lethal. I'm seeing plus 180 for a power play assist over at FanDuel. We want to get a little bit more bang for your buck there. I think that's okay. Janot over 1.5 shots, even money, Dustin. It's not really for me. He's kind of living in that like that's something he's cleared in 2 of his past 3, 4 of his past 6. I think it's okay. I just find if I'm going to a pred, I want to go to like Duchesne or Yossi. Yossi will probably be pretty involved in this game if it does open up. And the Panthers just play that way, dude. Like they score a lot of goals, but I'm looking at the high danger chances over the last 6 weeks of the season at 5-5. Nobody's allowing more than Florida.
It's freewheeling, right? And that's why they're fun to watch, right? It's high event hockey all over the ice. Yeah,
it really is. From a shot attempt standpoint, the Preds are up there. They're in the top 10 in shots allowed at 5-5 per 60 over the last 4 weeks. And shot attempts, they're inside the top 10 as well. So I do see Duclair over 1.5 shots. It's another guy I wish would shoot the puck a little bit more. We do want to find some Florida guys here. I think, for me, honestly, I really like Ekblad. Ekblad at 2.5. I think he's at a decent price. Barkov's going to be plus money. I could get behind like Duclair. I think it's okay. Just like look at his last 2 games. This is 1 shot. I take it back. I don't love Duclair. If you're going to do one of the 2, like why not Carter Verhaeghe? I think Verhaeghe might be the better play. Can we find him for a shot prop? Not just yet. I think for Haggy, I'd rather, instead of paying these juice guys, paying the juice for the shot props, I'd rather do like a Verhage or Duclair anytime goal, or one of those guys to have an assist, or even Barkov close to even money to have an assist. For Verhage, I mean, he's got points in two straight, 4 of 6. He's got 4 assists over that span. He's plus 184 to have an assist tonight. I think that's pretty decent, just considering who he plays with, right? With Barkov, and the chances are going to be there. He's got at least 2 shots in 4 straight games. So that's kind of where I'm leaning. I like that top line. I think the second one's okay as well. Let's move on. I'll tee you up. Minnesota and Ottawa. Your Sens. From your Preds to your Sens. These odds have changed quite a bit. Yeah. I'm seeing now Minnesota minus 235. Ottawa, if you want to back them, plus 205. Using our free prop shop parlay calculator. Where do you stand here?
Again, how dare you, NHL? How dare you? The Minnesota Wild is another one of those teams where we say, don't bet against them. Fun to watch. Kaprizov comes over, changes everything about this team. They got this Matt Boldy kid. He's a child, but he's a big child, and he's playing unbelievable hockey. And Ottawa has been very, very competitive as of late. Do we know, is Thomas Chabot back? I haven't seen anything about that.
No, he's still on IR, so he's expected. Oh yeah, he is. He's back. He's expected to play Tuesday against Minnesota. Yeah,
there we go.
He's back tonight.
Okay, so
is that enough for you to back him?
Listen, Chris, I see your grin. I see your smile, and
I know where you're going.
I love both of these teams, but look, there's no reward in betting on Minnesota. Not really. No financial reward. The reward financially, if you're betting on wins, is the Ottawa Senators at on DraftKings is plus 205. So they didn't let me down last time. They've been playing really well, and they're about to get their best player back. Also, a PS, I told you this, but I'm going to tell the world, I did order a Thomas Chabot jersey, and because of that, I'm going to put a little bit of money on the Ottawa Senators to win here tonight. And I might include them in my parlay with the Leafs and the St. Louis Blues to win.
Yeah, juice it up a little bit. Why not? Okay. Well, we're on the wrong side of this one too. Classic Meaney hates the Sens. I can already see the comments. Hates the Sens. I just really like this Minnesota team, so I'm going to ride with them. And you know what? They may burn me, right? I've been burned before by Ottawa. It is what it is. I like them to win by 2 goals at plus 110. I like them to win in 60 at minus 150. The Sens are scrappy. They really are. I totally get it. Being in Ottawa is a plus. Minnesota's a really good home team. I think they can still get it done on the road. I just like this Wild team. They can come at you in waves. They play heavy. They play a different brand of hockey. I really like their squad. So I'm going to be the sucker here and go with the Minnesota Wild. I've been looking for a Matt Boldy shot prop. Can we get Boldy over at Prize Picks anywhere? We do, 2.5. So there's our first Prize Picks play. Guys, 2.5 shots for Mr. Matt Boldy. Kevin Fiala, too. Ever since Boldy's been in the lineup, Fiala's been well over a point per game guy. He scored the other night. He's been fantastic. We can sit here and talk about the top line for days. Kaprizov and Zuccarello and Hartman. Like Zuccarello, my goodness, this guy has been. I don't know if you just looked at the back. I know you follow hockey and you're playing fantasy hockey and stuff, but Zuccarello, the season that this guy is having, and I know it has a lot to do with Kaprizov, but he's got goals in 3 straight. He's got at least 2 points in 4 straight. He's got points in 5 straight. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 multi-point games in his last 8, 9, 10. It's unbelievable, man. This guy is like a walking 2-point machine here. Yep. And we know about Kaprizov. I mean, he's been flat out amazing as well. He's got points in 5 straights. He's, at least 2 points in 3 of those 5. So these guys are not breaking into use. That top line is really good. But for Fiala, he's been really good as well. Coming off a 3-point game. He had 2 goals. He's got at least 3 shots in 3 straight games. His shot prop has moved in some spots to 2.5. Prize Picks is hanging a 3 there. 2.5 minus 180. Not ideal, but maybe, again, you can put them into a parlay, right? The Senators, nobody has allowed more shots than the Senators over the last 6 weeks. That's all together. That's not 5 and 5. So that's including power play time as well in there. For Boldy, this guy, yeah, you said it. He's a child. He just plays with a lot of poise. You can see it when he's playing. He doesn't panic
crazy.
with the puck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. You could just notice. You just tell he's going to be a star in this league. So he had a goal and assist the other night, and his last 2 games he hasn't had 3 shots, but before that he had 3, 6, and 3. So I think he's in play at 2.5. It's a lot of different ways I think you could go here. You calling a goal here? I mean,
I am.
Okay, what do you got?
I'm going to go Kevin Fiala to score.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm also very interested. DraftKings has Matthew Boldy, like all the stuff that we just said, the fact that he's scored in almost every game he's played in the NHL. And DraftKings right now has him at plus 300 to score in this game. And
amazing.
And the Oilers or the Ottawa Senators are giving up a ton of high danger changes. Ooh, sign me up for that, baby.
Yeah.
And every time the last time I put a couple bucks on Tim Stützle to score, he's been feeling it. You can notice something different in his stride when he gets the puck on his stick. He's really feeling it right now, and that's what I look for. That's why I watch all the games. I'm not saying I'm a professional scout, but sometimes when you watch the games, you can see when a player is feeling it. You can see, that just in their stride and how they handle the puck, their confidence. And Tim Stützle it's pouring through him right now. So I'm going him to score tonight as well.
I like it. He's plus money for an assist too. I like the goal a little bit better. Yeah, I'm seeing plus 320 for a goal for Stützle. He's got goals in 2 straight games, 3 of his last 4. He's been shooting 2. I was looking for a shot prop from him. With Shabbat playing or coming back, that will be probably my go-to shot prop from this game. Even though there's a lot that I like. I like 3 or 4 Minnesota Wild guys here. Like I think Kaprizov has a 2.9. You get that at plus money. I think if you want to go Zuccarello, I think Zuccarello probably has a 2.9. If Zuccarello has a 2.9, Kaprizov's having a 2.9. They kind of just go hand in hand, those two. And then Fiala. I'm going with the Fiala anytime goal scorer. You got Fiala and Boldy in there. So, I think that's kind of where the value is when it comes to the Wild here tonight, just like those guys. But for Shabbat, I have been playing his 2.5 shots when he plays. We're not going to see it until he comes back in the lineup. Until he's activated for sure. May not even see it. Your books may not even populate. But just keep an eye because he leads everybody in ice time per game. He's just a horse on the blue line. And his last 4 games, 4, 6, 3, and 3. So his shots all clearing 2.5 and at a pretty good price as well. Let's hit the comments here for a quick second. Jacob, Eric, I wasn't trying to get you into a crazy person contest, but you win. No way am I betting against Florida tonight. I'll stick to your original rule. The Die Hard MMA podcast. I think of Eric every time I don't bet Tim to score and I see him on the board. And then Coaster's Corner. Jimmy Stew is buzzing of late. Yeah, Coaster Corners, you're the sense guy here. Yes, you see Stützle. I see Shabbat, 2.5. Tell us if you agree with that as well. Shabbat back in the lineup. I think you will. He gets a lot of ice time. He's shooting the puck. All right, we'll recap. But I like the Wild. Yep. We like some goals there. Okay, we're just about done here. 2 more games. Battle of California, little Anaheim, San Jose action here. We do have the Ducks, of course, as favorites. They broke out the other night in Vancouver, chased Thatcher Demko out of the net. They're minus 148. We have San Jose at plus 130. Those are the live odds. So as you see on the board, not a whole lot has really changed here in this game. I think if I'm looking for a dog, I'm kind of interested in the Sharks here. I think this will be a pretty close game. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm kind of interested. I don't know what the status of Erik Karlsson is. There hasn't been anything about that. It's tricky, and they're just not the same team when he doesn't play. He's not the Erik Karlsson that he was 5 years ago, but he's still a super, super effective player. And the puck flows through him, and he controls the game when he's on the ice. And they're a different team without him. So I think if he plays, I would be very interested. DraftKings has them at plus 130. If he plays tonight, I think I would probably circle back to that and play them to win. And I am interested in the over here. 2 teams that are kind of feeling it and scoring a lot as of late. So The over at 5.5 is kind of interesting as well.
Yeah, I think it is too.
Plus, it sucks betting the under. I mean, it sucks.
It does. There's nothing worse. You bet the under, and especially like your ticket just can be ruined in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I had the under the other day between the Kings and the Golden Knights at 6. It got the push. Actually, didn't. It was 3-3. I lost it. So it's 3-3, and it went to shootout or overtime or something silly like that. Yeah, I went to overtime. Kempe scored, but there were 4 goals in the first handful of minutes, and it's like, all right, great, that ticket's over. I agree. Diehard MMA podcast. I can't figure out this Ducks team too. They're on the rise. I'm not fully buying in.
You knew this was coming, right? Like,
right.
There's too many
crashed it back down
players, right? They're not competitive enough to think like they're looking around the locker room like who's getting traded. You know what I mean? Because something's got to give. They've got to decide: are they buyers? Are they sellers? I think they're going to sell. I don't know how you explain to Gibson why they trade away Hampus Lindholm, but I feel like that could happen. I think almost absurdly, Manson is going to get traded. I would be really interested in the Preds to acquire him or the Maple Leafs to acquire him. There's a lot going on there. I think this team, we can all say that they're way better than we thought they were going to be and way better than they should be right now. Things look super bright for Anaheim. But this isn't their year. I mean, they're fun to watch because of the kids, and Zegras is literally a one-man highlight film. Almost every night, something crazy. He does something crazy, and you're just like, this. I mean, he's an infant. Just to play with that kind of confidence again against men, like people that could be his father, and it wouldn't even be weird. It's pretty wild, man. It's pretty wild to watch. But I think right now, this is who the Anaheim Ducks are. When Gibson plays really well, they have a very good chance to win or keep the game close. But they're not going to make a lot of noise this year in the playoffs or beyond.
I don't think they're going to get in. I don't know, man. I'm looking at the standings. Let's just take a quick peek here. So you got your Preds and the Kings holding down the final 2 wildcard spots. I think the Kings are in. You think the Preds are in? Who's out? Edmonton is rolling now. Vegas is in. Calgary's in. Minnesota, St. Louis, Colorado. Those teams are in. You're really just kind of looking at those final 2 wildcard spots, and it's going to be, a battle between the Preds, the Kings, the Ducks, and the Stars. I mean, the Stars got 3 games in hand on the Ducks. They got 2. The Ducks are. It's been a nice story, like you said. It's been a nice story. The kids, they're on the rise. It's great to see the progress, right? It really is. You're seeing them on the rise. From a game tonight, I'm not going to back them. I think they're okay at -150 at home. I think they're okay. I think Troy Terry at +130 for 2.5 shots. I think that's pretty darn good. If you ask me, Troy Terry over his last few games, he's been stuck on 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and 3. So he's kind of been right there. But over the last 4 weeks at 5-5, no team has allowed more shot attempts than San Jose. It's not even close. It's 69.79. The second closest team is Dallas at 60. And then shots on goal at 5-5 per 60 over the last 4 weeks. You got the Sharks there at number 2. The Blue Jackets number 1. San Jose 2. Arizona, Montreal, Buffalo. So I'm going to go with Troy Terry at 2.5 shots. I think he finds the back of the net too. So if I'm going with 3 shots, maybe I'll just kind of hammer home him to score here too. On the other side, we kind of got away from Timo Meier because his shot props got out of hand. But guys, he's been hitting pretty consistently. 4.5 plus money is pretty wild. But if you want to take a shot on him as a single, he's got 15 shots in his last 2 games. He's got 21 in his last 3, 7, 8, and 6. And he had 7 shots against a stingy Vegas Golden Knights team in his last game. So there we go for that one. Adam just booked my Calgary Stanley Cup bet yesterday. I wonder what you got it at. Is it still at 25-1? I wouldn't imagine it's not, considering they won their 7th straight game yesterday. And Lindholm scored again. And that's what you're rocking today, isn't it, Calgary?
It is.
Nice. Giddy up. 16-1, the Flames.
I wasn't playing, guys, just so everyone knows.
We got the Flames in the bet tracker at 25-1. We got Jacob Markstrom at 22-1 to win the Vezina. He's now 5-1 in some spots. So that changed pretty quickly. You could still get 10-1 points bet. DraftKings has him at plus 650. Yeah, I think Burns is a good one too. You know what? I was looking at Burns over at DraftKings or at Prize Picks rather. Burns is good, especially if no Carlson. Carlson's on the IR. And Burns is just another guy that just plays so much, right? At least 25 minutes in 6 straight games. I mean, the ice time that this guy is getting, 27, 28, 28, 33 against the Panthers not too long ago. He's got 9 shots in his last 2 games, and he's cleared 2.5 in 6 of 7. So Burns is a really good call. I would probably do Burns over Timo Meier, but Meier's a pretty good single at plus money. All right, last game of the night. Oh, wait, there is something else I wanted to talk to. You like goals. If there's no Getzlaf here, I think a sneaky little play is Sam Steele at 2.5. He scored a goal the other night. He only played 13 minutes. He scored against Vancouver. I mean, they put up 7 goals. He only had 1 point. But he is centering that top line with Troy Terry and Sonny Milano. I think that's a pretty sneaky underpriced. Maybe not underpriced. It's probably not the right wording for it. Sam Steele probably should be 2.5. But to get him in your lineups at 2.5, to get Sonny in there at 3.8, that can open up a lot for your lineups if you wanted to go that route. All right, Final game here. The Kraken and the Islanders. Seattle at home. They played last night. I was on them last night as just like plus 150. I thought maybe, I just wanted to try to take an upset. The upset clearly was Montreal. But I got to go with the Islanders here tonight now. I know this is going to be tough. I think this is going to be I don't think we'll see a lot of offense. The total at 6, I kind of have a lean to the under. I think the Islanders and the under is kind of where I'm at here, but I have a hard time putting my money down on the Islanders. It's a team I just can't trust.
Yeah, I would stay clear of this. I've been very clear about the Seattle Kraken. You mean like you got really kind of neat jerseys, and then there's not a lot to talk about. I mean, like they're just DraftKings. I'm interested in Jared McCann. He's been really reliable to do something. I think if you're going to bet on an offensive player on that team, it's Jared McCann. I would do the under as well. And the New York Islanders, man, I did not expect them to be this bad. I mean, I don't think anybody did. It's just so weird. They're just a team that you've always kind of been able to trust the last 2 or 3 years. They're just so untrustworthy in every way possible. I just don't know what to make of it.
I know. I hear you. I think now they've realized they're probably out of it. I mean, they're fighting. They do have a lot of games in hand, but, man, they need to win those games. It was a heartbreaker the other night that they lost to the Habs. So I'm seeing 6 that total. You can't get 6 You can't get 6 anywhere, I don't think. 5.5 is where you're at.
5.5. Yeah.
And it's juice now to the under, like minus 140, under 5.5. I still kind of like it. You put it into a parlay maybe with Toronto and Columbus over 6.5. That's kind of juice too. You could maybe. I hate putting totals in with sides because totals is just such a crapshoot. We just talked about betting the under, how fun it is. Not. So I don't know. I don't really have play from this game. Yarncrook. Want to go Yarncrook? Sure. I mean, I don't hate it, but
I like
how many goals are we really going to see from this
name?
game?
But I'm not betting on him to score.
Yeah, I don't see anything from the Islanders side. I never get behind Barzal. Lee's not shooting as much. Noah Dobson, I played him the other day. He was stuck on 2. He's been hitting. He's hit here and there. There's just not a whole lot that I like from either side here. Both teams could be stingy. We may not see a lot of offense, so I think we can move on. If you're looking to be ultra contrarian here with your lineups, I don't know, like attack this game, right? Yeah. Like with Jordan Eberle potentially.
I didn't have much money left over, and I put Jared McCann in. He's super affordable, and
well, that's the guy, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, at the bottom of your bench in your utility slot, you've only got a little bit of money left over because you went big somewhere else. Jared McCann is an important player for this team, and he plays in every situation. I was promised there would be no math, but the reality is he's on the ice. And when they're on the ice, something can happen. He could, deflect the puck in. He can pass it to somebody. They could get a goal. The Islanders are not the Islanders of last year or the year before. So, there's worse ways to go with a super affordable Jared McCann in your DFS lineup.
For sure. He had 8 shots the other night against Vancouver.
That's a lot.
I mean, two and a half minus 134. It's okay, but I just think there's better spots. Do we really need to? Do we really need to put money down on this game? I don't know. We just talked about 5 good ones. I don't really feel like we need to. Kyle says Islanders overs on the road have hit a decent amount this year, and the Kraken on back-to-back kind of lean over. Yeah, I mean, I get that. I especially with the odds changing. I mean, you get plus money at 5.5, right? 5.5 in a hockey game. You just need a couple goals, especially early on, right? We know that the goaltending on the Kraken side hasn't been ideal. And the Islanders came out really hot against the Canucks, I think, last week, and the Oilers. So, yeah, if you want, I guess you have that lean. If you have a better feel, you got to feel. It's all up to you. Like, I don't really have a strong feel in that game. To be honest with you.
I think we could have just, like, you said it earlier, and we could have just done like this: Seattle versus the New York Islanders. Yeah. Moved on. That's what most of the players are. That's what this game is. I'm not interested in any way, shape, or form.
All right, let's recap. Adam, I have no problem with you going back to McCann. Obviously, you hit it last night, right? He's the guy. I would say I don't like that he's on the third line. He's on the second power play unit, but he's still getting a decent amount of ice time, and he does like to shoot the puck quite a bit. So let's recap here. What do you have on the go? Okay,
we've got Boldy to be the first scorer. That's just a gut feeling. Don't do that. Very, very rare.
If Boldy scores first, then you jump on the Senators. You can get them at like plus 500 at that moment.
Right. Matthew Boldy to score first. Matthew Boldy to score. Stützle to score. Fiala to score. I got a parlay with the Senators, Leafs, and Blues to win. Just 2 negative with 1 positive odd is actually a pretty nice little bet. I got Senators to win. I got Ryan Johansson, anytime scorer. He's due. Huberdeau, anytime scorer. Forsberg, anytime scorer. Kerfoot, anytime scorer. Bunting, anytime scorer. And Line A, anytime scorer. I promised I wasn't going to do this.
And here you are. You're doing it. And I love it. I love every minute of it. What do you got for... Did you mention the teams, the sides? You're on a lot of goal scorers there, but...
I had, like I said,
my bad.
The Blues, the Maple Leafs, and and the Senators to win. And I mean, as we went, I don't really remember. I know my rule is don't bet against Florida, but I bet against Florida.
You're betting against Florida, okay? For Prize Picks, I will have some picks over at our free pick tracker, again, ftndaily.com, but these sometimes these change pretty quickly when people start to hammer them. You won't be able to get some of these guys, but Boldy at 2.5 shots. I think Marner at 3 is okay. I think he can get to 4, but William Nylander at 2.5 I think is pretty good. I know he hasn't been hitting, but we know that this Columbus Blue Jackets team, they've allowed more shots than anybody over the last 4 weeks at 5-5. So even with the back-to-back with Nylander 2.5, and I like Duchesne at 2.5 as well. I think if you wait it out, you will see. Brett Burns is there at 3, so that's a little tough. I mean, Burns could get to 3, get the push. Troy Terry, I am not seeing, which kind of bums me out. I thought we would get him at 2.5. The Ducks are in a pretty good spot against San Jose, really, to get some shots on goal. I see Trevor Zegras there at 2. So Boldy, Nylander, Duchesne, Zegras. I think that's okay to just go with those 4. If you wanted, another, I think Jordan Kyrou is okay as well, or Huberdeau at 2.5. I think those guys are pretty decent for, over at Prize Picks. Overall, from a shot prop standpoint, I like Tarasenko at 2.5. I like Buchnevich at 2.5. I like both of these guys to score goals. You went with Buch. I'll go with Tarasenko, but I think we're on the same page when it comes to Buch. We really like Buch there. Yep. Line A, 2.5 shots. Marner, 2.5 shots. Nylander, Werenski. I think it's going to be a lot of offense, a lot of shot attempts on both sides. But, if I had to pick one from that game, I would go with Marner. Marner's just been so hot. And then I would go with Line A. I love the price on Line A, Werenski. And then you can go with Nylander if you want. From the Florida-Nashville game, I like Ekblad 2.5. I like Huberdeau 2.5 as well. I also like Duchesne. I think Yossi's in play as well. I think we could see an up-tempo, Florida plays that way. Like you said, EY, just the style that they play. They just it's just wide open hockey. They can run a gun with everybody, and they're comfortable playing that type of style. So we could see, Yossi really not take over the game, but be involved in that atmosphere. I think his game suits it pretty well. Troy Terry plus 130, 2.5 shots. Brent Burns 2.5, and Thomas Chabot 2.5. I'm on the Blues in 60. I'm on the Wild in 60. I also like Minnesota to win by 2 at plus 110. I like goals in Toronto and Columbus 6.5. I know that's juice, but I'm going to put it into a parlay, and I think the Blue Jackets win. I don't know. I know I'm crazy. We're going a little nuts here with some of our picks. It's not for everybody. Looking for an upset here. I think it's Columbus, just because, who knows? Maybe the Leafs are just on a bit of a spiral. I don't know. Yeah. It could happen. It happens to really good teams. Would it be shocked they lose again on a back-to-back? No, I wouldn't. Columbus has won 7 of their past 9, so they're playing pretty good hockey here.
I saw in the chat there, sorry to interrupt, Adam Reckamp was asking, saves Elvis tonight. Elvis isn't playing. Left wing lock hasn't been as reliable as they normally are, but they've got Jay Berube confirmed. So you go ahead and bet on Columbus if you want. Some guy that I don't know is playing goal.
That changes everything.
Yep, go ahead.
That changes everything. Can we backtrack? I'm no longer on the Blue Jackets. Like, honestly, that is...
I should have said something earlier. I noticed it this morning, but it was not confirmed. It just said projected. I was like, I didn't even know he was on the Blue Jackets. But here we go.
Dude, he hasn't played in... Yeah. We got to get out of here, but I need to just double check. When's the last time that this guy has played?
And it's saying confirmed. Left wing lock has been not as good as they normally are, but when it says confirmed, that's usually typically who plays.
He's played 1 game this year, I'm pretty sure. And it was recently, right?
It
was against the Sabres. Yeah, okay. He played the Sabres, up 33 or 36. But before that, when was the last time this guy played? That's what I thought. 2017.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Goals. I like the goals. He played the other day, Kyle. Yeah, he played the other day against
the Maple Leafs to win.
You like the Maple Leafs to bounce back. That's probably a pretty good call. All right, we'll get out of here on that. I like the Blues. I like the Wild. I do have the Islanders written down on my sheet, but maybe just take the Kraken at home, or maybe just stay away from that game. I think we'll see goals in Toronto Columbus. Over, right? I think we'll see some goals. Have some fun in that game, guys, even with some point props and some assist props. Line A plus 110 for an apple. You probably get plus money for Nylander for an assist. Marner, maybe a 2-point game or something like that. You can have some fun. There's a lot of different ways you can go. Boone Jenner, of course, we talked about Boone Jenner. He's been an absolute monster as well. For goal scorers, I got 4 written down here. Terry, Tarasenko, Line A, and Kevin Fiala. But I think you can have some fun in that Columbus and Toronto game. Eric, always a pleasure, dude. We'll be back on Thursday. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us. Hopefully some winners for you guys. Let's get on a bit of a groove here as we head into what is pretty much like it's almost playoff time in March. Once we get to March, turn the calendar, it's like you'll start to see some intense hockey. All right, appreciate you guys, Tino as well, and we'll be back on Thursday. Have a good one. Cheers.